How's it going, everyone? This is the George here, and today I'm going to be reviewing Jurassic World Rebirth. That's right, I saw this movie over the weekend. It's the seventh movie in the Jurassic Park franchise, fourth movie with the title Jurassic World in it, but apparently it's supposed to be a new redirection, rebirth of a franchise with some new characters. This time it's directed by Gareth Edwards and stars Scarlett Johansson, Mahershala Ali, Jonathan Bailey, and Rupert Friend. In this movie, 5 years after the events of Jurassic World Dominion, the dinosaurs have moved into areas closer to the equator due to changes in the Earth's temperature. This pharmaceutical executive, played by Rupert Friend, claims that some of the dinosaurs have in their blood and DNA the cure for diseases. So he enlists Scarlett Johansson, Mahershala Ali, and Jonathan Bailey's characters to help lead the team to go to these islands. And this island turns out to be a former area that InGen was creating the mutated dinosaurs that we had been seeing in these Jurassic World movies lately. Also, the writer of the original Jurassic Park and the Lost World Jurassic Park, which I think is one of the most underrated sequels of all time, returns to write this movie. So with this movie, there was some skepticism, but also some hope as well, because Gareth Edwards, I think, is an underrated director. I think he's one of the better directors when it comes to science fictiony movies. He made the 2014 Godzilla movie, which I think is actually one of the better made MonsterVerse movies in that universe with Godzilla, Kong Skull Island, Godzilla versus Kong, Kong versus Godzilla, whatever you want to call it at this point. I did like The Creator from a couple years ago as well. I think that was a very underrated movie. And Scarlett Johansson's joined the cast. Mahershala Ali, who is still waiting for the Blade movie to come out or to even get started at this point. Who knows when we're going to get that? But also, as I said before, the original writer of the first two Jurassic Park movies was returning. And the trailers, while they kind of felt generic, kind of sold me on the idea that this was going to be at least more in line with at least the first three Jurassic Park movies than the Jurassic World movies. And by the way, I reviewed all the Jurassic Park movies, so I'll put links down below if you want to check them out. That was a few years ago. Some of my opinions on some of them, like Jurassic World Dominion, have changed dramatically. I think that movie's a lot worse than I thought the first time I watched it. I was trying to convince myself to like that movie because, it's a combination of the new and old cast, but ultimately the old cast got wasted on that bug locust plot. And, for a movie that was Jurassic World Dominion, that should have been the movie that had the most dinosaur action in it. Um, and even though I still think Jurassic Park 3 is not that good of a movie, looking back at it, I do think it was better than Fallen Kingdom in Dominion. But I still love the first Jurassic Park movie. I think it's one of the all-time best movies of all time. It's one of my top 10 favorite movies of all time. As I said before, I think The Lost World is underrated. There's a couple of silly moments in there, but overall, I think it's a really good movie. Jurassic World has some dumb moments, but it's a good kind of dumb. It's one of those dumb blockbusters that actually was made very well, and I can still, at the same time, consider to be at least a good, decent movie. So, where does Jurassic World Rebirth rank in this scale of Jurassic Park movies? For me, it's in the middle. It's way better than the last two Jurassic World movies we got. I also think it's better than Jurassic Park 3. You do feel like this movie is trying to go back to the Jurassic Park roots, in it that there's a more simple plot that's not completely complex like some of the Jurassic World movies try to go for. There's a simple plot in it that this team is going to this island to get dinosaur DNA. I mean, there is also the plot line of this family that gets stranded on a boat after an encounter with the dinosaur that get into this mission as well. Well, which does make you wonder, like, did they have like a couple of ideas for the movie that they just combined together? But I mean, besides that, it's not a really complex plot. It feels all very simple, like the first three Jurassic Park movies. In fact, I think it's more in line with like movies like Lost World and Jurassic Park 3, where there's a mission on the island. There's also some rescue stuff that's happening as well, and I think Also, when it comes to characters, for the most part, the characters, while they aren't anything special, they're not like Dr. Grant, Ian Malcolm. I do think they're also a lot better than some of the characters we have gotten in some of the sequels that were very annoying, and you just kind of wondered why is this character still in the movie. I think that there's really only two characters in this movie that I couldn't stand. Obviously, minor spoiler, the pharmaceutical executive guy who I don't know if I should say it or not, but I guess it's a minor spoiler because you know he's gonna turn out to be the human antagonist of the movie. He's like all the other human villains, has his own greedy, selfish desires. There's for coming onto this island, and then also the family that gets stranded out. Now the family, for the most part, I thought the family was likable. I had no problem with the father and the two daughters, but the teenage daughter's boyfriend to me was the biggest waste of a character in this movie. He's lazy. You kind of feel for the father who's like, yeah, this guy's annoying. This guy's lazy. And it's like every time the father wants to respect this guy, because there's a couple of times where this kid does a few noble, smart things, he goes right back to doing something stupid. And it's like he's like the one character you're just wondering, like, is he gonna something gonna happen to him? Is he gonna do something brave at the end? Really no payoff with this character whatsoever. I think the movie there would have been no difference if this character wasn't in the movie. But yeah, as I said, besides the teenager, the family had no problem with them. Although you have to wonder, are they just simply in the movie to follow the Jurassic Park / world tradition of having a family that has a kid or two involved in the dinosaur peril? Because every Jurassic Park movie and Jurassic World movie, there's at least one kid that is involved in the Jurassic Park action that's happening. Going back to the first movie. I mean, Jurassic Park 3, the main plot of that movie was Dr. Grant being tricked into going on this island because this boy's parents need to save their son that's been stranded on this island for a while. As far as Scarlett Johansson, Mahershala Ali, and Jonathan Bailey's characters go, while there's nothing special about them, they are likable protagonists in this movie. I like the banter and dynamic between the three of them. Then, like Scarlett Johansson, she plays this experienced covert operations expert, where Jonathan Bailey plays this paleontologist, and I like the banter between the two of them. Mahershala Ali plays the leader of this group. I like his character as well. But again, nothing special. But again, they could have done a whole lot worse with the human characters in this movie. The dinosaur action completely makes up for the lack of dinosaur action in Jurassic World Dominion. It's like once they get on the island, there's really no dull moment. And the suspense moments, it feels like suspense has returned to the Jurassic Park franchise. In fact, I'll go out and say this is the most suspense I personally felt in a Jurassic Park movie since The Lost World Jurassic Park, which, even though I didn't see that movie 28 years ago, it's going to be 28 years since that movie came out. The first time I watched the movie was years later when I got into the Jurassic Park franchise. But still, a movie that came out 28 years ago was the last time there was any of this level of suspense. Not to say that there wasn't suspense in the other movies, but the level of suspense. That's basically what I'm getting at. The setting looks great. The dinosaurs look great as well. The score, even though it's not John Williams doing the score, the homage to the John Williams score did a very good job with that. Really enjoyed that. And I think just the simplicity of the plot, like they didn't have to go big with this plot like they tried doing with the other Jurassic World movies. But we're kind of going back to roots, which I guess why it's called Rebirth. But is it really a rebirth? Because at the same time, they do bring back some of the tropes that have worked, some tropes that felt unnecessary in this movie, and some tropes that I think we are sick of and want to move away from. For example, this whole dinosaur mutation plot that's been going on since Jurassic World, which started because people were getting bored with regular dinosaurs going back to the first Jurassic World movie back in 2015, which it's hard to believe, even in a universe where where they were able to bring dinosaurs back, that people would get bored of any kind of dinosaur. That, like, the fact that that idea they're still drilling into the head, it's still hard to believe. But yet, at this point, I feel like the mutated dinosaur plot isn't really needed, and like, especially when these characters are still in awe when they see these dinosaurs, and they still feel a sense of amazement when it's a friendly dinosaur, and fear when it's a dangerous dinosaur like the Tyrannosaurus Rex. And I think the old Jurassic Park movies had shown that you don't need mutated dinosaurs to feel a sense of fear and awe. Like, it just, you just don't need that at this point. I don't get why they did that, especially because there's this new dinosaur that you get a brief look at the beginning of the movie, and he's never brought up or hinted at for the rest of the first act or the second act. Then he appears in the third act, and yeah, his presence is big. I mean, another minor spoiler, he's so big he manages to chew and eat a helicopter. And he looks like a combination of a T-Rex and a xenomorph from Aliens. But it's like the build-up for what should be the mightiest dinosaur in this franchise at this point. I mean, this thing is humongous, and it does look ugly and terrifying. There's really no build-up to it. If anything, there's more build-up to the mutated flying pterodactyl dinosaurs that are in this movie. The Spinosauruses that are swimming around the boat at one point. That's a scene in the trailer that, causes them to eventually, like, be shipwrecked on this island. It's just, I feel like there's more build-up to other dinosaurs than what should have been the mightiest dinosaur in this movie, especially if he's that big, that terrifying, that deadly of a dinosaur. And also, oh yeah, and also at the beginning of the movie, it was like I think it was a Snickers wrapper that caused. I'm getting into spoiler territory again, but I mean, it's not a big spoiler. It's a Snickers wrapper getting caught in something that causes this dinosaur to kill a person. I don't know. It's stuff like that. Not just in the Jurassic World franchise, just in any movie franchise that something silly like that leads to death. I don't know. Maybe it's just a way to say, hey, be cautious of your trash. I don't know. But I feel like with Jurassic World Rebirth, there was a real attempt at going back to the basic roots of Jurassic Park. And on one hand, they did it very well in bringing back the strong suspense element, most of the human characters not being annoying and at least being likable, even if they're not going to be that rememberable. The awe of the dinosaurs, the awe of being on this island, a mission that does feel noble because, yeah, trying to cure diseases is noble, although the pharmaceutical executive may not be using it for his own may not be using it for ethical methods. Maybe the paleontologist is, and eventually Scarlett Johansson's character realizes is that there are some things worth more than money. So I like that there is development with the main characters and their motivations being pure. But at the same time, the mutated dinosaur stuff, I think they just got to move away from. It's gotten stale. It wasn't even that interesting in the other Jurassic World movies. He's at this point. But overall, did I enjoy Jurassic World Rebirth? Yes. The first movie is still the king. The Lost World Jurassic Park is 2. Jurassic World, just because I think there's more of an enjoyment element in that movie, because there are some things in that movie that are so dumb, they're entertaining. And then Jurassic World Rebirth. I would say these would be the 4 Jurassic Park / World movies that I do think are okay to great. Jurassic World Rebirth and Jurassic World being the okay movies, The Lost World being the underrated, pretty good movie, and Jurassic Park being the amazing, fantastic movie. Then there's Jurassic Park 3 that it's not good, but looking back at it, at least it wasn't that long, and at least there were better moments of suspense in that movie than in Fallen Kingdom and Dominion, which are next on the list. So overall, I'm gonna give Jurassic World a B minus. If you just enjoy any Jurassic Park / World movies, you just want to see dinosaur action, go check this movie out. There definitely is a lot of dinosaur action in this movie, and the dinosaur action doesn't disappoint. If you want a Jurassic Park World movie that is at least in line with the first three Jurassic Park movies, because I know there's people out there that do think Jurassic Park 3 is underrated and do like that movie, then yeah, this is going to be the Jurassic World movie for you, or Jurassic Park movie. I just wonder, is there going to be a sequel to this? Because I didn't even think they were going to make another sequel after Dominion. Maybe if this movie makes $1 billion worldwide, which I don't know. I mean, Superman comes out this weekend, then Fantastic Four in a couple weeks. Not saying those movies are going to make $1 billion because the internet's going to be insufferable when those movies come out for reasons I'm not going to get into. But I mean, if Jurassic World Rebirth manages to make $1 billion worldwide and what I think is going to be a competitive July, then I can see them making a sequel to this. It's just a question of, is a sequel necessary? There's going to be people that wonder if this movie was necessary. But hey, it's better than the last two Jurassic World movies, which, at the very least, if you want in your World Jurassic Park series, just cut out Fallen Kingdom and Dominion from canon and just have Rebirth be the official sequel to World. And, they do have in words explaining the events that have happened with the dinosaurs. So I don't know. That's just, everyone's got their different headcans at this point. But I'm going to stop rambling on. What are your thoughts on Jurassic World Rebirth? Have you seen it? What you think about it? And what's your favorite Jurassic Park / World sequel? To me, it is The Lost World. Anyways, I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe wherever you haven't. Please share this with someone that likes the Jurassic Park movies or Jurassic World movies. And I hope to see you guys real soon. Take care, everyone.